I'm Corky Coker, and I have been around collector cars my whole life. I've been raised in the old car hobby. I love the European cars, the Model Ts, the hot rods, the race cars, the vintage bikes, the antique trucks. I just dig it. But you know what's better than that? Is the people in the old car hobby. They are the best.
Sometimes the road less traveled takes you where you need to go. You turn back, things unravel.
Well, at Honest Charley Speed Shop, we love to build hot rods.
Never know. We've been looking for across the road. It always winds. Keep your eyes on what's in front of you. You just don't know what you might find.
Every car here in the Coker Museum has a story, and every story has a good ending. The most important thing that I like to do is have other people enjoy them, and I like to drive them. I like to see them out on the roads. I like to see them on the racetracks, and that's what we're doing at Honest Charley Garage. We're building cars that people can enjoy, that people can drive, and people can experience.
Have you found what you've been looking for? Across the road, it always winds. Keep your eyes on what's in front of you. You just don't know what you might find.
So this is one of the first cars that I built as a race car. Got this chassis from my father, who had another Nyberg. Nyberg were built in Chattanooga from 1910 to 1912 when they went bankrupt, auctioned off all the equipment and machinery, etc. This is a 50 horsepower Indianapolis race car. A guy named Harry Endicott raced in the first Indy 500 and also in 1912, a 1910 50 horsepower Rutenberg powered Nyberg, made in Chattanooga. The factory was about a mile and a quarter here toward Missionary Ridge. It's an amazing car. We have a couple little speed additions that we did to this car. I built it some time ago, and because we're now racing at the Chattanooga Motorcar Festival, etc., we have logoed it with it made in Chattanooga. It's got Jaguar wheels. It's got a 3-speed transmission with an overdrive. So I've got actually four forward gears and 1 reverse gear in this car. Hartford shocks. It's an amazing car that drive easily. I put hydraulic brakes on the rear only because cars pre-1914 only had brakes on the rear. Because it's such a high horsepower, fast car, it can keep up with modern traffic. It's 65, 70 miles an hour. When you put it in overdrive, it'll just go down the road. We put hydraulic brakes on it so that we can stop. Nowadays, we haven't done that on all the other race cars here in the Coker Museum, but it's a really cool little car. We're just before taking it apart again and going to paint it when we run with the ragtime racers all over the country. It'll have a new color and a new look, etc. But you can come down and see this at the Coker Museum right now, anytime.
This episode of Corky Coker's Honest Charley Garage is brought to you by the Coker Museum. We love to share the Coker Museum, especially with people with their most important dates of their lifetime, like wedding receptions or like promotions and Christmas events. The Coker Museum is the place to come. You can help support our show by joining the Hagerty Drivers Club. It includes a subscription to our award-winning magazine, unlimited access to our valuation tool, 24/7 roadside assistance with flatbed towing, free classified listings, exclusive coupons and offers, and VIP perks to select Hagerty events. Get more information at hagerty.com/HDC. And by our friends at Moss Motors, run by enthusiasts for enthusiasts.
Let's harness another lesson here. There's a wiring harness here. This is very pretty. While it looks like it's a lot, it is a factory style cloth loom. Each wire is color coded. We have a wiring diagram that we're referencing. It's very detailed. Green means this, red means this, blue means this. The factory style for British cars look like this. In America, it's more of a rubber casing or like a black color. So we're wanting this car to be back to original, like OE.
So since this car was in a building since 1981, there was probably some mice crawled up the fender and crawled up underneath the car and got into, but just from deterioration, a lot of the rubber-coated wires start cracking and gives you the opportunity for shorts. So we've gotten a wonderful wiring harness and all the different multiples of wiring harnesses from Moss Motors. We did not remove the original wiring harness, so we have it to go back in where it came out, and we have things to follow. You can see this original wiring was color-coded with the proper ends. Moss Motors has done the same, called a wiring loom. There's not too many companies that make those looms anymore, and to have an authentic restoration, you must have a proper authentic wiring loom for all your wires bound together so it runs through the car, and you can tell a good authentic restoration by the wiring loom and the color-coded ends on each of the wiring harnesses. We're really thankful for Moss and what they've done for us, and we're going to have a car that operates well, looks good, and goes fast. Stops fast, but it starts every time because of this wonderful wiring harness.
This one here is for from the fuse box to the dash panel, all the gauges, the lights behind the dash, some other accessories as well inside the interior of the car, like the interior lights are from that harness. So I'm testing here continuity between these white and black wires to make sure that these are two that are connected, and they are. And I was looking to figure out where these white and black wires are supposed to go. And here in this diagram from Moss, you can see the starting and ignition charge and regulation goes from the distributor to the coil, which tells me that this loom section is for the engine bay in the car. This is the wiring for the gauge cluster. We take the main wiring harness, push it through the tunnel behind the Jag dash, squeeze it through there. We ended up using a little bit of silicone grease to kind of help us push it through the hole through the firewall. Comes in, tunnel underneath here, comes out roughly in the middle. There's some additional wiring for other accessories like wipers and such. So that's where the fuse panel and starter relays, where most of the relays are located on that side. Then it comes back out through here and attaches to this flasher relay. And then I spent time attaching everything to the fuse panel. And from there, we went attach everything to the dash and set the dash up into the car.
On this instrument cluster, I removed all the gauges, disassembled them, cleaned the glass, and as you see on the needles here, the needles on the gauges, I repainted them. The bezels around the gauges, I painted those, and then assembled it back together and then threw it back in. It looks brand new now. It's just all the freshly painted gauges, the needles, the odometer and trip meter have been tested, everything's spinning right. This thing's gonna be great.
The Coker Museum and Honest Charley Garage has been here for many, many years. But, you know, this is also where we had 160 employees at Coker Tire Company, and we grew Coker Tire Company. It was founded in Athens, Tennessee in 1958, and over the course of 45 years, I flew 200,000 miles a year, traveling around the world, selling vintage car tires to people all over the world. And now with the Motorcar Festival, all those folks are coming to Chattanooga to see us and to see these wonderful cars from all over the place too. So it's an exciting homecoming of collector car friends that I've had for many, many years from all over the world. This 1911 Marmon Wasp replica will probably be piloted again by the amazing Kendall Jolly. I'm probably going to be driving my Mercer Raceabout. Look for it. It's got twin tires on the rear. It's the fastest in the field. Of course, you know, I'll tell you a little secret. I know it's faster. That's why I'm driving, because I got to win. At least beat Kendall.
I sure am glad I got to do that. That was a lot of fun. Did you like that one? Yeah.
That's a lot better, wasn't it?
You let her rip, didn't you? Yeah, we let her rip. This Mercer Raceabout will certainly race about the course. It was awesome. It did amazing.
Wonderful run today with the Honest Charley Racing Team. We were able to let it out a little bit today because we had, slower cars out of the way, and track was still a little bit wet here and there, but we had a lot of fun out there. And we had Corky leading us in his beautiful Mercer, and we had trouble keeping up with him, but we managed, and it was a lot of fun. Thanks to him for getting us all out. Really good. Well, the Nyberg is fantastic in a couple of ways. First of all, it's a great old car. It's got long legs. When you pop it in third, you feel like it's just going to keep accelerating really fast. And it's also wonderful because it's made in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So it's really like a local hero. Wonderful car to drive. And it's bare bones. You know, you're out there in the wind, the motor's chugging away ahead of you, and you're getting smoke, and you're getting, stuff bouncing up off the road. Really feel like the essentials of driving. It's a wonderful opportunity. I think the Chattanooga Motorcar Festival is off to a fantastic start. It's going to be a great event that rivals all the other big events in the U.S. and the world. We've got a concours tomorrow with some fantastic cars. from all over the world and beautiful cars. So we've got a combination of activities, the racing, the car show, the talks from celebrity guests and whatnot. It's really got something for everybody. And I think that it's gotten a lot of acclaim. People are writing about it, and it's going to take off.
There's 600 cars here available to buy, and they've come from people from all over the place. You see the people in the background looking at these cars, need to know if the car has been restored, if the body is good, if the wood is solid, if the sheet metal is done. The paint and the interior looks like the chrome is all perfectly done. The one thing that is always an add-on is the provenance. Who owned it? Well, this car was owned by none other than Arlo Guthrie. You ever heard the song from the 60s? You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant, ooh-wee. Well, he wrote that song and he owned this car, Arlo Guthrie. So this car will be going on in just a few minutes and we'll see. I'm here to check it out just to make sure how it's detailed, the condition. I want to check the doors to make sure the doors are good and solid, so let's check it out. See, you can always tell if the wood is good and if the hinges are good. If you pick up on a suicide door, if that thing is good and solid, which it is, it's going to be a solid car. I think it sits well. Got a wonderful dash. Interesting thing about a 220 or a Mercedes from the 50, come around here so that you can see. Look at this. You know where the blinker is on a 50 model era Mercedes? Well, there's not one over here. Look here, it's right here. Left blinker, back to neutral, right blinker. Isn't that cool? That's really cool. That's the way a blinker works on a 228 1954 Mercedes-Benz. Beautiful leather, showing 46,000 miles, 46,292 miles. Blah punk radio. I think it's a nice car. Let's bid on it.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the DeFore Brothers Collection is S81, a 1966 Volkswagen Type 2 Transporter with the flat 4-cylinder engine in the back, 4-speed.
Goodbye. Negative 40, negative 30. 30, 25, 35, 32, 35. 35. No, I got that. Now 5, 35, 37, out of bed. 35, negative 37, 40. 40. 40. 45.
45. I got stuff I gotta go get. He gave me. No. I'm in 45 is all I can do. Sorry.
375 negative 400. I am 400,000 up and down 375 negative 400. I am 400,000 up and down 375 negative 400. I am 400.
My buddy wanted this at Arlo Guthrie Mercedes, and he said 350. But I was dead. I couldn't do anything more than that. It went 350 like that. Which is still more than it's worth. Oh yeah, a lot more than it's worth. Yeah. But this auction here has been amazing for Chattanooga. So after being around the old car hobby and collector cars for 45 years, I get to do some really cool and exciting things. This morning, I was announcing the Pace Grand Prix and the vintage racing at the Motorcar Festival with famed international Grand Prix racer Alain de Cadenet. Did a conference with Wayne Carini on the side of the concourse, and then went down to Mecum to buy a 220 SE Mercedes that was owned by Arlo Guthrie for another friend, Nelson Bowers. It's a shame that it blew past our threshold of how much we wanted to give, but we sure had a great time. And did you check the number of people at the Mecum auction at the Motorcar Festival? It was a full house. Amazing. And they had 88% sell-through this day. You know, I couldn't be more proud of the city of Chattanooga and how we came together. It's the Dynamo of Dixie. All the people come from all over the world to come to Chattanooga for a motor car festival. You know, I've been here just most of my whole life, but I've never been prouder of the city of Chattanooga.